Okay, well, I've taken the case apart after making sure that all my pieces were oriented the right way. This is going to be the back. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in this from the bark, but I wanted to use that part of the board. So that's not really anything that's going to be inside, and it's going to be on the back, and it's going to be hidden, and you will never see it. So don't tell anybody it's there. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I've already fit my dovetails on the top and bottom. Case is perfectly square. I'm exactly, width of the two boards is exactly 18 3/4 there, and exactly 18 3/4 there, and they're both the same length. So what I've done is I've clamped them together. Both inside pieces are facing up, which is where I'm going to do my layouts. Both backs are together and they're clamped, and this way they can't move, and I'm going to keep it this way throughout the entire layout. I have my my SketchUp drawing over here on the laptop. You can only see the bottom of the computer over here. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a square 90 degrees to the two fronts down here. And I can pick up this bottom, false bottom, a little bit. That's not a big deal. The important thing is that it's really square to the sides. And I'm just going to make sure it's up a little bit off the baseline for the dovetails. And what I'll do is I'll clamp this right here so it doesn't move, and I'll come over the other side and I will square it to this side. Okay, and that's good. See, you can see that there's almost maybe a 1/64 of an inch showing down here, and it's probably a 1/16 of an inch over here. But at least this false bottom will be perfectly 90 degrees to both sides. So I'm gonna make a little tick marks down here at the bottom, pencil line, because that's where my 5/8 of an inch dado is going to go. Okay, so we've started on that part, and I've got, again, my two backs are facing each other, and the two fronts are on the outside. This is the bottom, and that's the top, and I've made a little mark. I've marked it what the orientation is. So the first thing I have to do is establish where my dado is going to go. It's going to be 5/8 of an inch, which will be right here. The X-Acto knife is coming apart. I like to use the X-Acto knife to do my layouts with instead of a pencil. Makes it a whole lot more accurate. We'll come over here and we'll measure another 5/8 in on this side from that line that we established that we know is square to the 90 degrees to each side, and we'll mark that one. And then what I do is I put my ruler right up against the knife, kind of get it in the ballpark over there, and get a spring clip on this side here, and then come over here and put the X-Acto knife in again, and we'll just hold that down because that ain't going to go anywhere. And I'll feel it if it moves. that there. All right, so we've established that 5/8. This is going to receive 5/8 by 3/16 dado, and that's going to take this bottom, this artificial bottom will go inside that dado. And right now, the board is the same width as the case side, but that's going to change after we get all the joinery all cut out. We'll put the board into the dado, fit it in there on that side, and then we'll make a mark on the inside over here on the back. There's going to be a panel, a back panel that has to slide up, so this will have to be cut back about 5/8 of an inch. I went with 5/8 on this project because the original plans, called for 7/8 of an inch, and for me that was just a little too big and clunky. I didn't care for that. I want to see after I get the dados and everything cut and the front done, I want to see about a 1/2 inch reveal on the two sides when the door is closed, and then I also want to see 5/8 all the way around when it's open, and you'll see that as we go along. Well, now I've got all my lines laid out, and I've looked at the drawing. I found one little mistake that I had made, and I corrected that on the drawing and also on the piece. So now I can take this off, and what I've done is I've marked where, I don't know if you can see this, you probably can, but these are going to be 3/16 of an inch stop dado, 1/8 back from the recess for the door, and the bottom, when it slides in, will have a notch that's 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to stop right here. This will be a stop dado. Same thing on the other side. Same thing at the bottom down here. It'll have a stop dado, and those stop dados are going to stop 3/4 of an inch back from the edge, and the door stop dado here will stop right below, right at where the bottom slides in. And these are 3/16 of an inch. These will go all the way through and stop here, and those are for all the drawer dividers, and I've done that on both pieces. So now I'm ready to set it up to do my cutting, to do my routing. I'm going to use a little Fordham router. I've got the router all set up and my depth set, and I've got this Lexan straight edge that's really pretty accurate, and I've already set it up. So I'm on a pedal switch, so I'm going to drop this down on in. So I'm ready to make the first cut. I've been really anxious to use this thing, and now we're gonna get the shot at it. Yeah, we get a little bump there. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm only taking a very, very light cut. Well, see how close we are. Well, I don't know if you can see it here, but that's right on the line. So we're looking okay so far. This is first time I've used this thing, so it's a little a little shaky with it. I'm not used to doing it. Do another one. It's like a plunge cut. Pretty dead on. Can't get much closer than that, I can tell you that. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to plunge down next to the stop dado where the stop is going to be, and then I'll chisel that out. I just want to establish my line, really. That looks pretty good, pretty good. Go down to the next one. See how the control is on this. And I think what I'll do is I'll plunge down right in front of it. This way I won't slip and go fast. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with the cut. I'm just not used to using it, but it works pretty well. Now what I'll do is I'll keep reducing or increasing the bit height until I get down to 3/16 on this here line, and then I'll come back over here and do the same thing on this line, and I'll probably clean it out with a plane, because I've got one that wide. I think it'll fit in there. I'm not sure. The plane I have is maybe 3/4 of an inch. I'm not sure. But well, let's. And the only thing you do to reduce the increase or reduce the height on this is you loosen this, and that's like one full turn, and then you do this one full turn, and then you drop these stops down on top of it. Make sure that they're really good and tight, and we'll hit it again. that out, and then I'll come down and drop down on top of that stop again. I definitely do not want to go past that. This has a little bit of a kick to it, so you can't just zip back and forth. You got to kind of pay attention to where you're at and what direction you're going. So I'm going to drop this down on this stop right here. I mean, it doesn't take off on you when you drop it in, like a bigger router would do, I guess. What I do like is you can get up really, really close, and I've got these visors, so I can see that was right on that line. That's incredible. That's pretty decent. So I'm pretty happy with that. This they have a on this you have a tube here, and that will blow air down on top of that. So I think if you just get a little like a little aquarium pump, maybe something that'll put out a little more, but I think that would probably even improve things a little bit more. Also made a another deal here in this mounts right onto this like that, and I'm gonna get some bearings and I'll mount them here and cut a couple of slots on this. I'll cut a couple of slots in this, and I don't know if you saw that, so I'm gonna do it over. This will mount, actually it goes this way. You take these two screws out, and I can mount it right on there, and I have those countersunk, and you put it right on that. And what I'm going to do is I'll put you can see right through it, I guess, huh? But what I'll do is I'll put a couple of bearings on it and cut two grooves so that you know, I can slide. I don't know how I'm going to set it up yet, but this way I have an edge guide, and that would make things go a lot faster. I can't use it on this, I don't think. Well, yeah, I probably could if I mounted them back here, and I could get this side. But I'm not going to use my big route. I got a Festool 2200, and that's a monster. I can't see using something that large on a small project like this. Even my Porta-Cable is probably too big for this. It's just, I'd have to build big jigs around it so it wouldn't jump around and be hard to handle. This is really easy to handle. I'm gonna use it for doing inlay, and I'm also going to do a marquetry piece for this. And I haven't decided what I'm going to put on it yet, but I think a couple of pieces of marquetry on the side, and then I want to do line and bury and stringing on the front door, and hopefully that works out, and we'll give that a look-see. Okay. Well, let me get back to cleaning this out and get it down to the right depth, and then I'll move up to each. Where the drawer dividers go, and maybe I'll turn the camera back on for that. So, all right, well, I'm pretty pleased with this little tool. It's kind of handy, and it also comes off here so you can use it however you want. The router, the motor part of it, comes just as a wand. You can use a Dremel tool with this little router base from Stuart McDonald, and but I needed something. I like this setup, so I didn't choose to use my Dremel for this. But yeah, this is going to work out, I think. Takes a lot longer. I wish I had the hand tools to do this with, but I don't. So you know, it is what it is, right? Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I'll try and get some more on this as I progress, okay? Well, I'm going to show you a few more things that I didn't mention on this. I've cut as far as I can go, and I'm not quite at 3/16. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll drop the bit down a little bit, because it's pretty well up in there. And surprisingly, this little guy is not getting hot at all. But the way you change bits and collars and whatever, you got to take this apart. There's a little pin you stick in here, and then it comes with a wrench that's also on there. And this thing turns. I just happen to have it in the wrong position. But I think I can twist that just a little bit. Let me hit the pedal. Whoa, shit. Let me turn that a little bit so I can get the pull the pin out. What you want to do is get the wrench on there. If you can. No, you can't do that either, because there we go. It's in there now. Well, it would have been nice if they adapted Festool's little ratcheting mechanism, because I'm going to pull a plug out of this while I'm messing around with it, because if my foot hits that thing and I got my hand on the bit, I'll be in trouble. So let's see. There we go. There's a few other features that I wanted to mention about this. Some I like and some I don't like. First of all, I've got the plug out now. But up on the motor, and I'll show you that. I haven't showed you the motor. Turn that up there. So that's the motor. And on the motor, you have a 3-position switch. Forward, to the left, off in the middle, and reverse on the right. So I kind of like that forward and reverse thing. That's pretty cool. So the one thing I don't like about it is that you have a pin that you put into into the, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little hole right here, and you put that pin in there, and I was lucky, it had just happened to be in the right place. But if you don't get this set with the lock nut the right way, like I didn't do, you can't get a wrench on the collet, and you can't turn this because the shaft is locked. So now I'm going to have to get my my wrench, loosen this, position it with this inside for the lock, and then position the collet so that I can get the wrench on it all the time, no matter which way it's turned. So let me, so those are two things that I've discovered. You can see that, I don't know what the range of depth is for it. Right now I can't get to 3/16 because these are pretty good sized bits, and I just don't have my bit far enough out. It's too far up inside. So I'm gonna, and so you can adjust the bit that way, and then I could have ran this threaded nut all the way back here, which would bring it down a lot more. But I didn't do that, and I'm going to do it now. Okay. We'll get that. Now, if you run this nut back, you got to be careful you don't bring it too far back so that you're blocking the pinhole. So I'm going to put this inside the base. There it is, slipped right in there. And I'm going to turn the collet so that the wrench fits on there, like so. Then what I'll do is I'm going to bring that down just a little bit more, actually. And let's, oops. Not too far. There. I dropped the pin.